Josie Joy here. Welcome to Josie Joy's Creations. If you're new here, I am so glad to have you. So today I am going to be showing you how to do one of these very cute messy bun beanies. And this one is going to be done on a knitting machine. And so the top part, if I will hold it up to you right here, is going to be done on the knitting machine, and the bottom part is going to be crocheted. So you will need to know both skills. And so this one is going to be, all you will need is a knitting machine, a 5-point-millimeter crochet hook, a tapestry needle, and scissors. And that is all you will need for this one. It is really fun. I love it. It will take you about an hour, maybe a little bit more, depending on how fast you can crochet or how fast you can work your knitting machine. And that is all. So I hope you enjoy and come along for the ride. Okay, so you will be taking your contrasting yarn and you will put it on your starting peg, which I don't know if you can see it in here, but the starting peg is usually your white peg, and you will hook it on that peg. And in order to put it on the loom or the knitting machine, you will hook it every other peg. So you will catch it on every other peg. I'm sorry, I only record on my cell phone, so you might not be able to see this too well. But this is not a beginner's video on how to use a knitting machine. There are tons of videos on how to use a knitting machine. So how you know you did it, if you did it right or not, is that your very first peg that you started with will be hooked, and the last peg that you end with, the yarn will be behind the peg and not hooked on the peg. And so now you'll bring your yarn, and you should have a tensioner guide. You will hook it on your tensioner guide, and then most knitting machines also have a tensioner guide at the bottom. I have a Centro knitting machine, and so I will hook it through my tensioner guide at the very bottom. You can't see it because it's near me. And now you will do 10 to 15 rows with your contrasting yarn, like so. Now what this is for is it makes it a neater edge on your beanie, and it also makes it easier to take the beanie off of the machine. And I will show you why at the very end when we take it off of the machine. And you will do this at the very start of the project, and you will do this at the very end of the project. So do 10 to 15 rounds of the contrasting yarn, and I will see you back here when you've done that. Okay, so I did about 12 rounds in my contrasting yarn, and so you'll put it in there. Now you will take the color that you want for your beanie, and you'll hook it onto your starting peg, which, like I said, mine is white. And you want to make a light knot. You do not want to make it too tight because you will have to remove your contrasting yarn at the end of your project. But you do want to tie a knot in it, because if you do not, then it will leave a hole in your beanie as you're working. So, and then you want to put it through your tensioner, your main color for your beanie. And then this one you have, and then you want to start your row counter over again, so you know that this is the first round of your beanie. And then you want to make sure that the first couple of rounds, you want to go very slowly, that the first couple of rounds actually catch in your pegs. Because if they do not and any stitches drop, any pegs drop, they will leave a hole in your beanie. And you will do, I usually do about 40 to 60 rounds for my beanie. You can do however much you want. Now, I usually fold my beanie in half. I double it. And so you want to, you will want to make whatever, however many, you want to double the length, if that makes sense. And so if you normally would make 20 rounds, you would want to go 40 rounds. If you would normally make it 40 rounds, you would make it 80 rounds. If you would normally make it 30 rounds, you would make it 60 rounds, because we're going to fold it up inside. I think it makes a neater finish, and I also think it makes a warmer beanie. Also, a good thing to note is that if you have any knots in your yarn, these machines are very, very delicate. They are not utility machines. They are all made out of plastic, and I hear of a lot of people breaking their machines. And so you want to be very, very careful. So if you get a knot, you do not want to keep jamming it. And so what you do is you slowly go back a little bit, but you don't want to go back too much, because if you go back too much, it will release, the peg will release the stitch, and then you'll have bigger problems. You just want to go back like a tiny bit, just so that it relieves pressure on your tensioner, and you'll get the knot, the yarn with the knot out, and then you can feed it through your peg by hand. That's how I usually deal with it. I usually don't go really fast either, because I like to treat my machine very delicately. Because like I said, these are not utility machines. It's all made out of plastic. A lot of people just go and go and go as fast as they can. That does a lot of wear and tear on your machine. I have another knot, so just go up a little bit. Take the knot out. And then feed it through by hand like this. And then once the knot is through, you can feed it back through your tensioner, and you're good. A lot of people also get the hand electric drills. Those are also very bad. I've heard of a lot of people breaking their machines that way. But the good news is the Central machine is so common that you can actually buy parts for your machine on Amazon. You can buy the handle, you can buy the individual pegs. You might even be able to buy inside parts for your machine. So that is the good news. So continue in like manner until you get to the length of your beanie, however length you want it, and I will see you back here when we're done. Okay, so I did 60 rows of my beanie. See that? I have all of this, and I fastened it off. Now I'm going to take my contrasting yarn and I'm going to attach it to my first peg, and I'm going to lightly put a knot, not very tight, just so it's secure. And I'm going to put it in my tensioner, and I'm going to reset my row counter. And I'm going to do 10 to 15 rounds of my contrasting yarn. I think I did 12 rounds at the beginning. So the first couple of rounds you want to go slowly to make sure they all catch, because you will have problems if they don't. So far all good. Now keep doing this until you've done your 10 to 15 rounds, and I will see you back here when you're done, and I'll show you what to do from here and how to take this off of your knitting machine. Okay, so I finished with my 12 rounds, and I didn't cut it off this time because I want to save as much yarn as possible. So now this is my favorite part. This is removing your work from the knitting machine. And so this is why I do the contrasting yarn, because if you had your work directly on the machine, then you would have to take a tapestry needle and pull it off one by one, and it's a pain in the rear end. So this time you don't have to do that, because it doesn't matter, because you are not going to have the contrasting yarn on your work. So this time you are going to take your spinner thing, and you are going to start spinning it backwards. Remove it from your tensioner, and you're going to start spinning it backwards. And you're going to keep doing it until it slowly falls off your knitting machine. Like that, and it is off. Now you're going to move your knitting machine out of the way, and this is your work. And stretch it out. And it looks really nice. Right now it just looks like a scarf. Like one of those tube scarves. And that is fine, it's supposed to. Okay. Now you're going to take a tapestry needle. And you're going to take your work and you're going to fold it inside out. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am going to cut this yarn because it's just easier to work when it's cut. So you can remove that. Remove that. Okay. So you're going to fold it inside out, stretch it, make sure it looks nice and even and neat. Okay. Then you're going to take some of your main color yarn, and if you look right here, the reason why we use contrasting yarn is so that you can actually see your main beanie yarn right there. Okay? And so we're going to start at the beginning, and you're going to unknot the knots from your contrasting yarn and your beanie yarn. Okay. And you are going to loop right here. I believe it's right there. Trying to think. I think it's this one right here. You can see that. And this one right here. Loop those two threads and you're going to pull it through. Okay? And you're going to do a whip stitch like that all the way around. So you're going to loop that one and go into the next one and then that one. And you're going to go into the next one, that one and that one. It's kind of hard to do on camera. You're going to go into the next one, this one, and you should be able to see it easily because of the blue. And that one. Now if you look here, there's kind of two. There's kind of two blue yarns. There's a top one and a bottom one. You'll go on the top one. If you do not do this and you just remove the blue yarn, then it's gonna unravel. One side will unravel, the other side will not. So this secures your beanie, if you will. And you're gonna do this all the way around. I'll see you back here when you're done. Okay, so I finished that. Now we're going to take the blue off, which the one side is very easy because you just basically unravel it. And it's getting tangled, but that's okay. So one side is very easy because you just basically unravel it, because this was the side that was attached at the very end of the knitting machine. Okay. The other side is more complicated because you can't just unravel it in order to get it off. And one step that I did skip is that you can add 2 contrasting yarns in order to make removing this piece a lot easier, because then you just remove the second contrasting yarn and then this one will just come right off, and I did not do that. I forgot about that step. And so now this side you will actually have to pick apart. Like this. So I will see you back here when you're done picking this side apart. Okay, so I finally got the 2 contrasting yarn sides off. Now I'm going to cut my fasten off that. And remember, we are making a a bun beanie. So we're gonna pull this tight, but we are not going to pull it all the way closed because we want to leave so I tend to pull it all the way closed at first, like that, and then just make a little hole. And then I make a knot. I make a knot. I don't even know which side. Hold on. I think it's these two. Okay. I make a knot so that they stay secure. That. Okay. And then I cut them a little bit so they're easier to sew in. And then you sew in all these loose ends, which I'm not going to show you how to do that. I'm sure you know how to sew in ends. Then you're like, wait, that looks like very small to be a beanie. Well, it is, because I am actually going to crochet a border with black yarn. So this has a border. That is what I'm going to do with here with a 5mm crochet hook. So you put your crochet hook onto your beanie. You can start anywhere, it doesn't matter where, and you put your yarn any color you want. I'm using black because I think black looks good with this color. And you attach it. And we are going to be doing double crochets. And you're going to chain 2 and do another double crochet in that same stitch. Okay. Then we're going to go into the next one. And do another double crochet. And into the next one, do another double crochet. And then every 5th stitch or so, you are actually going to skip a stitch. And the reason why is if you do this where you're double crocheting in each stitch, it's actually going to make a very big beanie. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next one, I'm just going to skip a stitch and then crochet in the next one. So that's 5. Then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, then skip a stitch. Then you'll do this all the way around. Okay, I'm here. Now I'm going to fasten. When you come to the end, you want to make sure you have an even number of stitches. Okay, I'm going to join, chain 2. That does not count as a double crochet. And now we are going to do kind of like a post crochet, and this is why you need to have an even number of stitches. So the first stitch, you're gonna go do a front post double crochet, which, so you go, you take it to the front, you go to the front, and you go to the front behind, and you do a double crochet, if I can grab the stitch, like that. And then the second crochet, you go behind, and you kind of hook it behind, and you do a double crochet behind it and do a back post double crochet. like that. And then again, front post, so you go, I don't know if I can show you, so it's kind of hard to explain. So you kind of go in between the posts, behind it, so you bring it up, and you do a double crochet. And then another back post. So you'll go behind your work and up through your work, and you'll bring it through. So it's a front post and back double crochet and a back post double crochet. I know I'm not explaining it very well. There's tons of tutorials on how to do a front post and a back post. And you'll keep doing that all the way around, a front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet. And you'll do this for 4 or 5 rounds, however long you want to make your brim. And anytime there is a front post double crochet, you'll do a front post. Anytime there is a back post double crochet, there'll be a back post, so it will kind of look ribbed like this. And that is it. I will meet you back here whenever you are done with that. Okay, so I finished the beanie, and it looks like this. And it is pretty nice, y'all. This one is mine, the American flag beanie, and yeah, it's about the same size, and it takes roughly about an hour, maybe a little over an hour, depending on how fast you can crochet and how fast you can use your knitting machine. But yeah, that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and yeah, that's it. Bye. Okay, so this is the hat. I absolutely love how it turned out and the colors. If you look, it turned out absolutely gorgeous. And so let's try it on. That. And then we just pull it through like that. And see, this is how it looks and it turns out. This is absolutely one of my favorite beanies. I wear it all the time in the winter. Right now, where I am at, it is snowing. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of snow or the winter. And it has been snowing since Tuesday night. It is Thursday right now. And according to the forecast, it will be snowing until Saturday. Oh, so this has been keeping my American one, it has been keeping my head warm. And I absolutely love how it turned out. If you want it a little bit more stretchy, because these ones aren't stretchy, you can try to find an elastic and feed an elastic through. I've never tried that because I don't really know where to find an elastic. But even this one kind of works fine, and I absolutely love how it turned out and how it looks. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you liked it. And I hope you have a great and wonderful day, and God bless.